Any sleeper teams that we're talking about. I mean, is Iowa State technically a sleeper? I think they're a sleeper to the rest of the country because nobody was talking about them before they won the Big 12 tournament. But I think they are. My man Wakan stole it right before I could say anything. Michigan State's going to be dead. They always are. They always are. Michigan State. Watch out for Michigan State. I got this bracket here that I am looking at. Michigan State. The problem with Michigan State is that they would have to play. Nope. I think it's North Carolina. But they play Mississippi State in the first round. That's going to be a tough game. I think North Carolina is primed to get beat early. I think North Carolina is primed to get beat early. I do. I think if you get physical with North Carolina, they will fold. They will fold. That is the thing. Here's another one, Purdue. Now, I know everybody's going to say, come on, B, Purdue, the last 2 years, there's no way. Now, they're not going to lose to a 16 seed, so I'm not saying that. But in that second round game, they look at TCU. If TCU can win, TCU is the exact recipe that beats Purdue. You're fast. You got fast, athletic, physical guards that Purdue can't handle. That is exactly how you beat Purdue. You get after them on the perimeter, and then they will not be able to guard you. That's how you beat Purdue. And that's exactly what TCU has. Now, can TCU has been so inconsistent, are they going to win that first game? That's tough. But if they do, if they can beat Utah State, I'm telling you, watch out. Watch out, people. So, my man over here on YouTube, my man CGN Barbosa said Samford over Kansas. I think that one's a lock. I think that 13-4 is a lock. Yeah, I think that one's a lock. So, and my man Matt Hasselbring said Michigan State was gifted a 9 seed. Yeah, they were. I have no idea how Michigan State got a 9 seed. No clue. It's almost, they weren't even one of the last teams in the tournament. I'm like, how is that possible? Like, what did they do all year? But you know what? They're playing good. And if they can, I'm just telling you, they're going to be a problem. They're always a problem. Somehow, Tom Izzo gets Michigan State to the Sweet 16 every year. Somehow, some way. I don't know if this will be it, but it's going to be, I'm telling you, North Carolina, I'm just not a believer in North Carolina. I am not a believer in North Carolina. I'm not a believer. Look at Auburn. I know Auburn won the SEC tournament. Little inconsistent during the year. They got hot at the right time. They have a recipe that they can make a deep run in this tournament. Creighton can make a deep run in this tournament. Did the shots start falling, which they usually do for Creighton, I'm telling you, they can make a run. A team that got gifted a high seed that Marquette, I'm not a believer. Marquette at a 2 seed, how? I just I see that, and I'm just like, hey, man, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a Marquette person, and I think it's because I'm not a Shaka Smart person. Because outside of 1 year going at VCU making a run, what was that? 2008. I mean, that was 16 years ago that we're living on. That he's still living on that. I'm just not a big Shaka Smart guy. I'm not. I think he's a good coach. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but I think he's overrated. I think Shaka Smart is overrated. So I'm just not a believer. Not to mention their point guard is hurt. I'm sure he'll probably be back and try to win or try to play in the tournament. But yeah, I don't know. So that's my whole thing. It's just Marquette 2 seed, no way. No way. Not to mention Iowa State basically got the last 2 seed. How does Iowa State have the last 2 seed? How is that possible, people? What are we doing? What are we doing? How are we even making sense with that? How does that even make sense? So Auburn will beat UConn. Write it down. I don't think so, man. I think UConn's got it together. I think UConn's got it together. So my man says, I can't wait to get away from Big Ten officiating. There's a lot of people that say that every year. A lot of people say that every year. So, all right, Bill Kerner is rolling out. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming in. 2011 was the VCU Final Four run. Gotcha. Not 2008. Either way, that was 13 years ago versus 16. There's over a decade ago. I mean, does it matter? What's he done since? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, look out for NC State. No way. No way, says my man Al Woody. No. NC State got hot and won the ACC tournament. But as we all know, the ACC wasn't very good this year. They weren't. And they're going to lose in the first game. They're going to lose in the first game. That's what happens with these teams that steal bids. They spend everything they got to get there, and then they have nothing left. So I don't see them doing anything in this tournament. I don't. But watch Auburn. Auburn's got an opportunity. They've got an opportunity. I don't know that they're going to make a Final Four run, but they can. They can. Here's another one that you all need to look for, and you won't see it coming. And so I'm giving you hints. I'm giving you free hints in the Big B Bracket Challenge. Grand Canyon will 100% win their first game, and they will beat Alabama. It's happening, people. It's happening. Or not Alabama, St. Mary's. They play St. Mary's. It's happening. Grand Canyon will win. I'm just telling you that right now. That first round game, they're winning. They're going to beat St. Mary's. You guys, how is that possible? Just trust me. Just trust me. That is happening. Everybody counting out Kansas. If Kansas is healthy, we will make a run, is what my man Bud Snodgrass says. Kansas is not making a run. I mean, the NCAA tournament, you have to have some depth, and you got to have shooting. Kansas has neither. So, no, they're not making a run. I'm sorry. It's just not happening this year for KU. And that happens. You know, it's not like Kansas is a bad basketball team, but, it happens. But, yeah, to make a run in the tournament, you got to have depth. You got to have shooting. Kansas doesn't have either. So, they're not making that run this year. Not this year. Sorry. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, yeah, this is good stuff. Good stuff. But watch that Grand Canyon team. I'm telling you now. Watch that Grand Canyon team. So, as a reminder, everybody, 9 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday, Big B Daily. We appreciate everybody being here. We are live on YouTube. We're live on TikTok. Thank you guys for showing up. TikTok, keep tapping the screen. We got about 3,000 likes to go. 3,000 likes to go, and we got a boatload of follows. So if you're in here and you're not following, please give us a follow. Please give us a follow. So my man Perk says, never apologize to a Kansas fan. I usually don't, but my man Bud Snodgrass is a good dude. But he's a little fandom right now, and that's okay. We all get into that. So we all get into that. Iowa State over everybody. Yeah, maybe. I like Iowa. Iowa State's so good. But I still think that UConn is the best team. But how often has the best team won this thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, how often has the best team ever just come out and won this tournament? It doesn't happen that often. So I will be surprised to see UConn. I shouldn't say we'll be surprised if they win it because they are the best team. But just because we know the history of this tournament, the best team hardly ever wins. Those are just the facts, you know. And it's usually when that team is so much more dominant than everybody else. like a 2012 Kentucky team or the North Carolina team. I can't remember what year it was. That was just so much better than everybody. That it was okay. Yeah, they won. They were so much better than everybody. But UConn is the best team, but they're not just so much better than everybody. They're not light years ahead of everybody. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. So I just, I like UConn, but I'm not just blown out of the water by them. So, here's the thing about New Mexico. I'm guessing New Mexico, either them or Nevada, was like the last team in the tournament. I like Nevada over Dayton, by the way. I do like that. Let's see here. And I'm just looking at these brackets with you guys. That Marquette Western Kentucky game will be closer than what you think. Western likes to run and they make a ton of 3-pointers. James Madison over Wisconsin. Woo, look out. NC State. Texas Tech is better than what people think. And I think they throttle NC State. Look at Florida. Watch Florida, people. That's one team. Watch Florida. Now, they did lose a big man. I take that back. Scratched it. I forgot the big man broke his leg. The big man broke his leg. Never mind. Never mind about Florida. That stinks, too. That was disgusting, by the way. Lord, I feel bad for that kid. That was disgusting. Disgusting. People keep saying McNeese State over Gonzaga. Are we going there? I don't think we're going there. I don't think we're going there just yet. I don't think I can do that just yet. Yeah, I don't think we're going there just yet. So, but we'll see what happens. Man, the tournament is going to be fun. And do you guys count the tournament? I know that we got those technically, I call them play-in games. I know the NCAA wants to tell you that it's first round games. I don't even bet on those games. I don't even bet on those games. I don't count those at all. I just say for me, the tournament starts on Thursday. For me, the tournament starts on Thursday. And I tell you guys what, if you don't have look, I'm not a spokesman for YouTube TV, but if you don't have YouTube TV and you can't get the quad view, you are missing out. It's just like being in Vegas at a sports book. It is incredible. You can change the sound around to whatever game you want to watch. If you don't have YouTube TV and can't get this thing on the quad view, I'm just telling you, man, you are missing out. You're missing out. So, my man Michael living in Dayton, great time of the year. He gets the first 4 games and the Flyers are in. Yeah, I can't imagine. It's a good place. I'm trying to figure out why they picked Dayton to be the place for that every year. It's not. I'm not saying anything bad about Dayton. I'm just trying to figure out why. It's not centrally located. It's like, how did Dayton get picked? But good for Dayton. Good for them. So, yeah, YouTube TV it's incredible. It is incredible. The quad view is incredible. So, not to mention, you know how much money that saved me from getting away from DirecTV? I saved like $200 a month. And I get the exact channels that I want. The same ones that I had before. The ones that I was watching. $200 less a month. DirecTV is just ripping me off for years. For years. Unbelievable. So, but we'll see what's going on. My Final Four. I still like Houston. I know Houston got their head beaten in by Iowa State, but that's beside the point. It happens. Everybody's entitled to have a stinker from time to time. But I still like Houston. I am definitely staying far away from Purdue. Far, far away from Purdue. Because I think Purdue's going to lose the second round game if TCU wins. But I got a sleeper in that bracket, Creighton. Creighton is my sleeper in that bracket. I like UConn to make it. I just think UConn is that good. And, I think Arizona could possibly go. I'm not a believer in North Carolina. I'm definitely not a believer in them. Baylor, I just don't think Baylor plays enough defense for me. And that's what makes me mad. I think I like Arizona coming out of that bracket. I would pick Baylor. Baylor just doesn't guard anybody. And that's my problem. That's my problem. Do I have a 4 seed beating a 13? Well, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of them, but we'll see. We'll see.